Have you ever dreamed of opening your own restaurant? I mean, really dreamed about it? Well, what if you had a secret recipe for success, straight from a top hospitality expert? Today, we're going to do just that. We're breaking down the key advice from Maurice, a total pro in the food and beverage world, to give you a step-by-step guide on how to make that dream a reality. I love how Maurice frames this. It's a metaphor that speaks directly to us, right? As chefs, as owners, we get recipes. This isn't about boring spreadsheets and business jargon. It's about a recipe. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to break down every single ingredient together. All right, let's get cooking. We're going to start with the absolute most critical ingredient, the one that honestly can make or break your restaurant before you even serve a single plate. First things first, the money. And listen, Maurice is adamant about this. Before you even think about your menu or the decor, you have got to master your costs. He's seen way too many brilliant, passionate chefs fail simply because they skipped this fundamental step. Okay, look at this number, $11 million. That's what it costs to open Per Se, one of the most famous restaurants in the world. Now hold on, don't panic, this is the absolute extreme, but it's a really powerful reminder that this is a serious, serious business. All right, let's bring it back down to earth. For most of us, Maurice says a realistic budget for a small, ambitious local spot is somewhere between 50,000 and maybe €500,000. Now that is still a huge range, right? Which is exactly why your financial plan has to be absolutely airtight. And this is where Maurice's real-world experience is just golden. He insists you have to build in a buffer for those surprises that always pop up. And here's a huge insider tip. Consider renting your big equipment or buying it secondhand. Seriously, that can be an absolute game changer for your starting capital. Okay, so we've laid the financial foundation. Now we get to the fun part, your concept. This is the soul of your restaurant. It's your unique point of view, your culinary signature on the world. You're going to hear this term a lot, USP, or unique selling proposition. But let's just cut through the business speak. What is it really? It's your special sauce. It's that one thing that makes someone choose your place over all the others out there. Think about it this way. A burger is a burger, right? Well, not really. It can be a basic fast food item, or it can be a gourmet culinary experience. So what's the difference? The concept. It's the story you build around it, the quality of the ingredients, the vibe of the room. That's what elevates it. Here are a couple of fantastic, really clear examples. Burger King owns flame broiled. That's their thing, a specific cooking method. Then you have a place like Real Food Daily, whose entire identity is 100% vegan and organic. It's a powerful promise. Both are crystal clear about what makes them special. So how do you find your perfect concept? Well, Maurice suggests a simple 3-step process. First, figure out what makes you unique. What's your thing? Second, do your homework. Is there actually an audience for your idea? And third, and this is so important, test it out. Do a pop-up or a few events before you go all in. Okay, you've got your financials locked down. You have a brilliant concept. Now it's time to actually bring it all to life. Let's talk about execution. This is where the dream meets reality. And according to Maurice, it's where a lot of new restaurants really stumble. Choosing your style of service is a massive decision. A classic sit-down restaurant needs a lot of space and a highly trained team. A takeaway spot is all about speed and efficiency. And a food truck, well, that's a whole different ballgame. This one choice impacts everything. Your staff, your space, your whole operation. It has to perfectly match your concept. And that leads us to the classic rule. Location, location, location. Maurice is super blunt about this. Putting a high-end bistro in the wrong neighborhood isn't just a bad idea, it's a recipe for total failure. It's a financial death sentence. You have to find a location that fits your vision, or you have to be willing to change your vision to fit the location. All of this really boils down to one key idea: perceived value. And this is not about being the cheapest option, not at all. It's about making your customers walk away feeling like they got an amazing deal, that the quality, the service, the whole experience was worth every single penny. Let's just look at two giants that everyone knows, Chipotle and McDonald's. Chipotle has built its entire brand around quality ingredients, so we feel okay paying a little more. Their perceived value is high. McDonald's, on the other hand, is built on low prices, so when they try to raise prices, people get upset. See, your perceived value is a promise you make. So we've walked through the key ingredients of our recipe for success. Now it's time for the final plating. Let's pull it all together and summarize the keys to building a restaurant that doesn't just open, but actually lasts. So here it is, Maurice's recipe boiled down to 3 essential steps. 1, plan your costs. Be realistic and always have a backup plan. 2, develop a unique concept. This is where you pour your personality and passion into the project. And 3, create a memorable experience. Give people a reason to come back. That's about more than just what's on the plate. And let's just hang on that last point for a second. Customers come back for the experience, not just the food. Of course, the food has to be great. That's the price of entry. But what truly makes people loyal, what makes them tell their friends, is the experience. It's how you make them feel. So there you have it, Maurice's expert recipe for restaurant success. And whether you're dreaming of a humble food truck or a Michelin-starred destination, remember that every single great restaurant started with a single idea. So we'll leave you with this question. What's yours?